What's up, guys? Rick here. So it's been a little bit, hot minute, as they say in New York. Probably everywhere else, but it's been a little bit since I've been on here because I've been really busy with other projects, other things. This is my hobby YouTube channel, and I want to talk the welterweight division right now. I want to talk, if you know this channel, there's a very few a tiny bit of you that actually stuck with me over the years. I really appreciate it. And I understand because I don't put out content constantly. It takes a lot of work to do that and put out quality content. This is just for fun. I love boxing, as you know, obviously. Combat sports, I don't know anything about any other sport. But if you go back through the history of this channel, you'll see most of my predictions, well, a lot of them are on point, meaning who I pick wins the fight. In big fights where I know fighters. Now, the most recent was Errol Spence Jr. versus, what's his name? No, I'm joking. Mikey Garcia. For sure, I had to call that fight. I know I did. I made a video about it somewhere recently, in the recent past of the recent uploads, I guess. And I told you why I thought Mikey Garcia was going for greatness, and why I believe he was really great. I mean, he come up from lightweight, jumped super lightweight division, went up. He dared to face greatness. Not too many people do that this day and age. Risk their I give Mikey Garcia massive props. I am a fan, no doubt about it, but I always pick with reality. I never let my emotions get the best of me when picking fights. Now, this has nothing to do with gambling or sports gambling. I know people actually in the past would privately write me, hey, who do you think's gonna win? Because they see my track record, like before the fights happen, like for real, and they would go out and do that and go make bets based on what I'm saying. So don't get mad if it doesn't come true. I don't endorse any of that, but I just, like I said back in the day, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, a fan of Manny Pacquiao, said Floyd is the ring general, and by the time they fought, I made a prediction, said the fight would be anticlimactic where Floyd would win. So I call fights as I see them, especially when I know the boxers, and now I know, like, it opened up like the Red Sea. It just parted like the Red Sea, because now I see the welterweight division where we're going in the near future. I already see most of it, and I only see two guys that I want to see fight. And I can tell you right now, boxing, love-hate relationship with it. A lot of it is very scammy. Personally, I just don't like the way the business is set up. Meaning you'll have one champion here and another champion there, and cross promotions are hard to do, and because they're promoted by other promoters and other TV networks, and you don't get to fight the two guys who are supposed to be fighting for one championship. That's why the UFC is really good, because last time I looked, the UFC had one belt. Forget the interim stuff, just one champion, one belt. Boxing is very scammy. It just always was for me, because there should be only one title. There should be none of this undisputed nonsense with multiple titles. There should just be one belt. But all these leeches, all these con artists behind the scene, all these gangsters, all these corrupt individuals are making a lot of money off the expense of the fighters. That's a whole nother topic that I can get into other time, but not now. I'm just going off the head here. This isn't like I have paperwork in front of me, but I do have box records, and I'm going to refer to it with the welterweight division if I need to right here. But what I could see, just frankly, just telling you, I looked at Kieth Thurman's last fight. Kieth Thurman disappeared from the ring for a little bit, and he did hold on to the belt. Somehow a miracle happened. He was out for a while because he fought Danny Garcia in 2013, and then he came back in 2019 in his recent fight and fought Josesito Lopez. I don't care how long he took off. Kieth Thurman, look, it's a sport where you're judging the fighters on how they perform in the ring, and we want to see the best fight the best. Kieth Thurman's a really good boxer. I don't think he's I don't think he's elite, and it showed it in his last fight. Josesito Lopez almost took him out. Yeah, he had the ring rust thing, but still, he's a young guy in his prime, and he has one of the belts. Incidentally, I don't think he should have held on to it that long, but whatever. He had an injury. He's a really good guy. He's good for boxing. I like him. This is not personal. He is 29-0. He's 29-0. He has 22 big KOs. But personally, and from what I've seen, and so from what I know about boxing, he's not one of the best in the world. There can only be like one or two at the very top. I just think Kieth Thurman, and I'm going to just straight up tell you right now, Kieth Thurman and Shawn Porter, they're B fighters to me. In my opinion, they're B+ fighters. Sounds harsh. They are not A elite fighters. Terence Crawford will beat them both on the same night. Well, I'm joking, of course not on the same night. Terence Crawford's better than both of these men at this time. Errol Spence Jr., who I predicted would beat Mikey Garcia because he's really phenomenal. Has everything that you would want to see in a fighter. Composure, amazing, just the energy levels on this guy. His boxing ability, the way he adjusts, and his power. He's just an incredible fighter. I don't think I'm overrating him. I think Mikey Garcia is a really good fighter who would give anybody a problem. Mikey Garcia has a better chance of going up and staying at that weight if he's going to do it, which I doubt, and beating Kieth Thurman and or Porter. Mikey Garcia, of course, is still the champion because he didn't lose his title in the welterweight division. I mean, the guy is just a fantastic fighter. I can't say it enough. But I just really believe that the fight that we need to see right now, not 5 years from now, not 3 years from now, make it happen, which is like impossible. It's an impossibility in boxing. That's why I'm frustrated as a real boxing fan since I was a kid. It's just so frustrating. You get with these guys, you watch them get to the top level, you watch them get one of the belts, you know they're one of the best in the world out of like two, maybe 1 and 2, Crawford and welterweight, of course, Spence, who is just great. 25 KOs, 21 big knockouts. He's beat Lamont Peterson, who's on his way out. We just saw him recently. I think he retired, right? Unfortunately, he was beat the other night. Yeah, I watched it. It was unfortunate what happened, but his trainer did the right thing. That's another story. So going back to Spence Jr. versus Crawford, that's the fight I want to see as a really, really knowledgeable boxing fan that predicts fights, because when I start to get confused about who's going to win a fight, that tells me it's going to be a great fight. Because right now, Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr., I don't know really who's going to win that fight. We're going to watch Terence Crawford, who's 34 wins, 25 KOs. He's fighting Amir Khan. So I'm going to make that prediction right now. Why are we watching him fight Amir Khan? And on pay-per-view, I can make a whole nother video about this, which I should. What? This is just mind-blowing. Okay, look, this is a business. They're making money. They know how to promote this stuff to the average person. Amir Khan, his best days are behind him. It's like a tune-up fight. Look, 33 wins, 20 KOs. What am I seeing here? Sorry, yeah, that's Amir Khan. 4 losses. Prescott beat him. We all know about that, but that was okay. If you want to say, some people say it was a lucky punch. That was back in the day on his way up. But Bradis Prescott, a really strong puncher, caught Amir Khan early, knocked him out, and then Amir Khan went on to win a lot of good fights, but he just never had what it took to be. Look, Lamont Peterson, let's put this in perspective here, won against Amir Khan, a split decision, back in 2011. Come on. This is insanity, for real, for me. I know this is bad for business, I guess, if you're talking about pay-per-views and making money. First of all, the pay-per-view model should be done away with. I just really believe it's just bad at this point for boxing. They should do like, you buy the fight on an app, like that Danzing, what is that called, DNZG? But they should do something like that. I like that but then you got different networks. It's just so convoluted. It's so crazy. It's so hard to wrap your head around how hard it is to get 2 top guys in a ring these days without all the politics and all the political promoting infighting. It's just so much and so hard to do this. It's just bad for boxing. But going back to Amir Khan, he lost to Alvarez, his last loss. He lost to Danny Garcia. It's a very difficult sport, but he did get into the upper echelon. He's a really good fighter of the sport. But I just think his best days are behind him. Amir Khan is now 32 years old. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Amir Khan is going to lose to Crawford. Nobody knows exactly how he's going to lose, but if you know boxing, you'll probably agree with me that he should lose to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is a young dude, a young 31. He's in his 30s. That accounts for something. He's 31, but he's a much fresher fighter. He's very unorthodox, left, right. He goes from southpaw, that means the lefty stance. He fights more there more recently in the lefty stance, but the guy's really good. And they're saying, okay, the names aren't there, but I've seen enough personally from Crawford where I think he beats Amir Khan, and he's been knocking people out. Look at his last fights. Jeff Horn, TKO, just a lot of guys he fought. Didn't he fight Gamboa a while back? Who I liked, Eurokis Gamboa. Excuse me if I'm saying his first name wrong, but he knocked him out like 2 summers ago. Wow, that was a long time. Jesus, that was 2014. Wow, time is just flying. I can't keep up. But so how are you going to sell Amir Khan fighting Crawford? Oh, he's got the better names. No, look, I know boxing. No way Amir Khan beats Crawford. I'll eat a crow, okay? I'll be on here saying, oh, I was wrong. That is not going to happen. As a matter of fact, let me just break this down real quick. Looking at Amir Khan's record here, his last loss was a KO. Sorry, that was to Alvarez. That was a devastating KO. He was stopped. I remember, just any KO is devastating, even if the ref jumps in. That is just not good for a fighter, especially of his age. He's much more shop-worn. Sorry. Danny Garcia, TKO, knocked him out. Technical knockout. Okay, I don't remember. The ref stepped in, and he's just for me, I saw him in his last fight, and it was just like, wow, it wasn't that impressive. What to Vargas he fought. So if you look at Vargas's record, come on, this guy has 5 losses. He's just not at that level, but just Luis Collazo beat him. So anyway, my whole point is, it's very easy for me to wrap this up and talk about this. I'm looking into the future right now. I can tell you guys what's going to happen. Amir Khan loses. I won't be surprised if it's a stoppage, because Crawford wants to cement his legacy with this fight and make a big statement, I believe. And he's definitely capable of stopping Amir Khan mid to late rounds. He could do it. Look, Alvarez did it. So Garcia did it. Prescott did it. And let's not forget, Crawford did beat Prescott. Amir Khan was talking about, oh, we never fought the same guy or something, someone said. Well, that's not true, because Prescott was beaten by Crawford. I think Amir Khan doesn't even want to acknowledge that. That was in 2013. Unanimous decision. So if Crawford goes in there against Amir Khan like it's supposed to go down, there's no injuries, no one pulls out, I already see to the future what's going to happen there. Also, I already see Kieth Thurman. He kind of was exposed, but I think I said on his channel already, I didn't think he was an elite fighter. I saw things in him. He has a lot of power, but he just doesn't have that A factor, which you need, that it factor, if you will. That, okay, you are the best of the best, because that's how a lot of us like to judge our fighters, like Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people didn't like Floyd Mayweather, but there was no argument, hands down. If you look at my predictions, I was telling people I was going to beat Cotto, I was going to beat this one. He's the ring general. It just became very obvious at some point to me that Floyd Mayweather was the best ever at that weight of our time in that division, and nobody was going to beat him. Nobody. No such thing, in my opinion, as a lucky punch. A lot of people like to talk about that. I always say, look, if a guy got the punch there, he trained for it, he worked for it, it was there, and it happened, and it was meant to be, and it happened. So Floyd Mayweather, nobody was going to stop him, not even on a lucky punch. So I knew he would beat Pacquiao, who is amazing. I love Pacquiao, big Pacquiao fan, but I can't let being a fan of someone just cloud my vision of what I'm talking about here. And I got to keep it real with myself and keep it real with what I'm saying in public. It's like I'm talking to you guys like I'm talking to a friend on a corner or in a room here, having a Starbucks, just chilling, drinking some coffee. But so what I'm seeing here with the welterweight division, this is the future for me. This is what, if you want to know the future of the welterweight division in a person's opinion like mine, who pretty much is accurate on a lot. Of course, no one's right all the time, but the majority of times, I'm right on big fights when I know fighters. So I was just checking out that welterweight division. I still can't believe this is going to be a pay-per-view. They got some nerve. Seriously, they got some nerve. For me, this is like, call me crazy. I'm like seeing, and it's sad, I'm like seeing a guy who's shopborn, who's on his way out, fight a new champion. That's what I'm seeing. And a stepping stone. A guy who you're supposed to fight. Excuse me, I don't want to offend anybody. I'm sorry if you don't disagree with me. We're just talking sports. But I'm going to keep it real. I see this, Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan, as this. I see it as a gatekeeper, a guy that's more worn out and seems older. He's only, 2 years older than Crawford. Amir Khan is 32, 1 year older. And I just see it as a gatekeeper, a guy that was already at the top, a guy that already had a lot of fights and he took a lot of damage. And I just see that as a stepping stone fight, like Crawford beats him on a primetime, Showtime show, whatever network he's with. And, the main event fight. And then after that, the big pay-per-view fight's made. If they're going to do a pay-per-view, it's after Crawford wins impressively against Amir Khan. That's what I see. But they're selling it as the promoters know what they're doing. It's about money, and they're going to get the sucker. They're going to get people to buy this fight, which is basically a stepping stone fight for Crawford to win, look impressive, and then shine even brighter. More mainstream his name becomes, and then he fights Spence. That's the fight. But why do I get the feeling, guys, that's not going to happen? Spence looked amazing against Garcia. Garcia is just that good where he's not going to knock him out, even though Spence was bigger. Garcia's still amazing. And at the top, a fighter in his division, back down in weight where he should be, and his brother knows that by now. Honestly, I would have stopped the fight. I made a video. I was on my phone. I said, I'm not going to put it out. I was like, they should stop the fight. I was watching it live because Mikey Garcia doesn't even need to take another punch. There's no way he's going to win this fight. But I had to respect they left him in there. The brother didn't throw in a towel because it wasn't like taking massive damage. Like, whoa, look at that. His head snapped back. Oh, that's going to ruin his future and his career in the future. Then I thought his brother would do the right thing. His brother's his trainer. So anyway, going back to Amir Khan, like I said, he's going to be the stepping stone fight. And somehow it's just miraculously is on pay-per-view money. But I can't believe they can get away with selling a fight like that. It just, people go for it because of the way they market it. It's all about marketing. So anyway, Terence Crawford gets the name, takes Amir Khan out, then the world is his, so to speak, in a welterweight division. Then we need to see him fight Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. versus Crawford. That's why I can't stand boxing. The love-hate relationship. Who's promoting who? I can't keep up. When does it happen? 3 years from now? What are they going to do? Take on like lesser known guys a little bit? I know sometimes it's not their choice. It's they're business people. So I think that Errol and him need to go at it. But in the meantime, if they don't, each of them should fight either Thurman or Porter. So Errol Spence Jr. takes on Thurman or Porter and wins. I'm telling you right now, this is what's going to happen. Unless something happens. Right now, if they fight in 2019 or early 2020, Errol Spence Jr. beats Porter or Thurman. Like I said, they're the B pluses. They're under these guys, in my opinion, in ranking as far as quality fighters. They're under them. And or, you following me, right? Crawford takes on Thurman or Porter. So they both need one of those guys, and then they have their super fight. The fight that should be on pay-per-view. They both beat now Porter and or Thurman, right? Spence and Crawford. And then they meet. Spontaneous combustion. Then we have a big explosion, right? That's the fight you should pay for. That's the real deal. That's the money fight. Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford. Let's make it happen. Boxing, step your game up because it's getting really frustrating. There's more streaming apps coming out probably. There's so much content out there, and there's so much promoters now, and it's all about money. And you're going to have a guy on channel A or with promoter A, and then another guy with promoter B, and they're both champions holding these titles, and they're the best in the world, and they're not going to fight unless it's a special promotion, like back in the day that started with Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson on Showtime and HBO. They had to do a special deal. This is still going on. It sucks. And back in the day, by the way, I remember I had almost an argument. The guy was arguing with me because I was telling him, look, I'm a Tyson fan. He's going to get knocked out by Lennox Lewis. I seen that just like I see this. I see the future with boxing. It's just what I'm good at. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I got it like that. That's why I'm sitting in my mansion right now. And I have a Bentley in the driveway because I bet my life savings on Floyd Mayweather beating McGregor. I'm joking. Jokes. I don't even do that. I placed a big bet back in the day in Vegas. McCline versus Michael Grant. That was my last boxing bet. I won nice. But I don't do that too much. I just get a weird sick feeling if I place a wage on gambling. I don't like that feeling. That's just me. But anyway. So guys, really, this is what I see. I hope I broke this down good and made sense here. It's a little bit distracted right now because I really don't have much material with me. I just have the box record thing, and I'm just talking about boxing, like I said. But if you want a prediction on the welterweight division as a whole, and with the Khan fight in there with Crawford, I'm really pissed off. I should be screaming right now because I'm really pissed off that they have the audacity to put Crawford in there on a pay-per-view with Amir Khan. It's like you have a guy on his way out. It'd be so funny if Amir Khan wins. There'll be so many people here. Well, not really, because it's not. My videos are not going to get a lot of traction here. Especially, they're not even monetized, so YouTube's not going to be pushing these. No one's making money off these, so the algorithm is just like whatever, dead channel, nobody cares. But like I said, I have boxing knowledge. It's extensive. You could go back into the channel here and pull up some fights on big names, big fights, and you'll see a lot of them are right predictions. Like, do I need to talk about Lomachenko versus Rigon Diao? Am I saying his name right? Rigo, awesome fighter, but I said Lomachenko's going to beat him, and people were telling me, you don't know anything about boxing. I said Wilder was going to beat Ortiz. You don't know anything about boxing. Personal attacks. Why does it got to be like that? It brings out the ugly in people, doesn't it? It's just the fights we're talking about here. If you disagree with someone, why do some people get nasty and personal and disagree? And it's just a sport we all love to watch. You know, if you think Amir Khan is brilliant and he's going to beat Crawford, why be mad at me? Why don't get mad at me? Don't hate the player, hate the game, son. So anyway, that's it, guys. I ain't got much more to say about that. If someone does watch this video and you have a request and you want to know a prediction, or what do I think how the heavyweight maybe division is going to unravel itself, or what it's looking like in the future, I can look into the future and see some things. The heavyweight division could be awesome if they let these guys fight each other. Unfortunately, like I said, the sport I love to hate, boxing, is pissing me off to no end, especially now. It's getting more and more complicated. These promotional wars, getting two guys in a ring with multiple titles, it stinks. Why don't we have one champion? Where before I go, when did this happen? When these championship belts were made, I'm sure when it first started, it wasn't like, oh, let's have 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 belts. These organizations making money. It should have been one belt, like the UFC. Like, I can't believe it. How is this acceptable? How are boxing fans accepting 3 champions in one division? What? There's only one. It should be only one champion, and that's it. So who's it going to be? Errol Spence Jr. versus Crawford. Who's the best? Does anyone disagree with me? Do you think I'm wrong about Keith Thurman and Porter? Porter's a grinder, hard worker, nice guy. They both got futures in commentating. That's the great thing about boxing now. I mean, that started back in the day, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard on HBO. But some of these boxers, unfortunately, they take damage and they slur their words as they get older, unfortunately. And it becomes harder for them to be a commentator. But on the good side of this, on the flip side of that, there's some that could pull it off. And remember Bobby Chess? I met Bobby Chess. He's a really cool dude. He was working for Showtime. But anyway, so a lot of these guys will have careers in that. So, but do you disagree with me? Do you think Porter and or Thurman can beat Spence or Crawford? Really? Do you really think that? You better look at their records and look at what they're doing in the ring. Take a good look. Because I'm telling you, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. These guys, they're just like grinding and just right under there. They're almost good enough. Now they have to fight one another, don't they? Porter versus Thurman. They fought already. I just remembered that. And you know, when they fought, I think I mentioned this on this channel. When they fought, I thought that Porter had beat Thurman, and I was watching it over in Europe, and it was in another language. I only saw it once, so maybe I was distracted. I don't know. I just thought that he edged him out on the cards. But, you know, hey, it wasn't like, oh, he got robbed or anything. But anyway, those guys are very close. And I just think they're, like I said, I think they're just hovering under that elite division, that upper echelon, the top, the cream of the crop, which is Crawford and Spence. Crawford and Spence, like I said, I think I made my case in this video. Anyway, guys, wish you all the best. Enjoy boxing and whatever you're doing, and eat healthy and do your thing. And hopefully I'll be back soon with another video. Give me some feedback if anyone's out there that's going to watch, and what maybe I can predict or something like that. Or maybe you want to pick my brain about some fighter or whatever. All right, take care. Peace.